Hello, this is Wayne Herbert. I'm the founder of AI Assets, and I'm going to give you a quick run through of the AI Assets system so you can see the key benefits and features. I built the system from a number of years of building consultancy work, the frustrations of being on site, capturing asset data, and then trying to make meaningful reports from it. So I've come up with quite a simplistic solution. So what we're looking at this phase is the tablet app. So this is when we want to do an initial data capture, where we have a number of assets to bulk upload or enter the system when we're on site. So the process I came up with was a simple three-step process. First step is what space are we assessing? The second step is what are those assets in the space? And then the third step is what are the details on the assets? This allows a much more efficient way of testing the asset data. So this screen we're looking at here is simply that space selection screen. So we're looking at Aston House, we're on level 3, and we've selected it as commercial property. So we're going to go in ahead and we're in the meeting room. We're going to add some assets to the meeting room. So we've selected the meeting room. Next button is the asset button. Once we're in here, we'll see on the left-hand side, it's asking us what type of space is this. So if we're going to put it down as just an office space. Now what we do, we have groups. So this is where we're going into the room. We're adding all the physical assets. We're not worried at this stage how many assets there are, what condition they're in, all of those finer details. We're simply putting the basis to the asset register together. So we might have in there a split system air conditioner. The ceiling, for example, might be a painted plasterboard ceiling. Electrical, we might have a distribution board. We might have a fire extinguisher. So as you can see, I can very quickly build up the basis to what my asset register is in here. Once we're happy with that, we go on to the third step, which is the assessment page. Now we have the basis to our asset register. So this is where we're going to populate all the details. So the first obviously thing we're going to do is add the quantities. So what's the quantity of the carbon dioxide extinguisher? Well, we've got one of those. We have a condition rating. This allows us to go with the typical standard 1 to 5 condition rating from excellent down to very poor. We can modify those, but also the criticality rating of an asset. So how critical is that asset? So obviously a fire extinguisher is highly critical. That's going to be a criticality 1, but of course you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for those as well. Now we do have a camera in there. We can take a photo. Click on the camera icon. It'll bring the camera up. You can take as many photos of the asset as you like. It's automatically tied to that asset. And then over on the right hand side, you'll see there's 2 tabs, attributes and tasks. So this is where we can add all of the different attributes to an asset. As I click through each individual asset, you'll see these attributes change. The same for the task. They're specific to the type of asset we're looking at. So the first one there is the asset tag attribute. So if we're tagging assets or using QR codes, regular barcodes, you basically just click on the little barcode item here. That will automatically scan that barcode details or QR code details into the attribute field. Then in future visits, when you're updating an asset, you can use the function at the top, the little barcode function at the top. Scan the barcode, it will automatically take you to that asset for ease of use to find that asset when you want to update it in future revisits. So yeah, as I say, all of these attributes are modifiable, similar to the tasks. I'll show you that in the web portal shortly, how we can modify all of those. But we have a number of different tasks in there. So for example, we might want to go in and say, right, this carpet here, it was in poor condition. We have 50 square meters of it. And then the task might be to go in and replace the carpet. It automatically defaults to the current year, but you can switch the year out if you want to go to later years. We do have notes in here. This also has talk to text, so you can type or voice talk into there to put your repair notes. So you're going to say why the carpet's going to be replaced, etc. So as you can see, it's a very simple way to capture all of the asset data. So that's the basis of the asset capture tool. What I will show you a couple of other functions. We do have like a copy paste function in here. So if, for example, a hotel is a prime example of this, if you're thinking of a hotel with 300 different rooms, they've probably got 5 or 6 different types of rooms. Once you've done the basis of those 5 or 6 types of rooms, you can copy them into the other rooms. So it just saves you a lot longer of adding those asset data in, and then you simply report by exception in there. Now, when we're doing a return visit, we might go back in 3 months, in 6 months, 12 months, whenever we want to go back and just check our data and give it an update. We'll go to Office 2 here. We can see there was 43 assets last time we captured this data. It's excellent. Simply download it back to the iPad or the Android. and it automatically goes into there. You skip step 2, go to step 3. Here's what we've got. So we can, if you need to delete an asset, you can just delete it from there. If you need to add extra assets, something's been installed since you was last there, you just click the add button and it takes you back into that section. So that's the basis of the asset ledger. How simple it is to capture data and to keep data live and accurate. It does also work online and offline. Obviously, if you're in remote locations or basements and car parks of buildings, you get very poor internet or none at all. It works fine offline. You have no issues with that.